What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today, as you can see with the thumbnail, we're going to talk sports figures. So, growing up, I'm pretty sure a lot of us used to have the starting lineups figures, which were like, they weren't posable, but they came with like a little accessory, like a little football, or you could take the guy's helmet off if it was football, or the basketball was kind of just on a stand. You know, they all kind of came on little stands and everything. Today's standards, I should say, are way higher for a figure, right? Those were just more like statues. And I'm kind of thinking, like, why can't a lot of these companies get it right as far as football figures? We saw figures in general. We saw starting lineups they tried to come back and it flopped tremendously. We probably won't ever see that again. And I think part of the reason, one, I feel like it's the figure itself, the quality, blah, blah, whatever. But I also feel like it's the people that you put into it. You know, obviously, the first line is not going to have every heavy hitter and every banger, but I really don't feel like people cared to have like a Joel Embiid figure or a Ja Morant. People want the legends, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what people more so wanted. Start with some of those guys and then sprinkle in some of the smaller people and then lower the price point, make them a little better, so on and so forth. I'll be doing the series. I'm going to actually kind of start it up. I'm going to start football, but I really want to get into a lot of other different sports that I want to see figures from, because again, like, I like my 90s nostalgia, I like my Joes, I like my Jada Street Fighter, I got some third party, I got some Mythic Legions, I love Marvel Legends, I love all those, and that's fine. But the jock in me, the football coach, the football player in me, I want sports figures too. I want football figures. So I'm introducing a new line. Not really, but it'd be a cool line to see, and I would love to have them. So this is my line. It's called Gridiron Greats. Let's get into some of the renders. Again, through the use of Gemini technology, we're going off of like a Mezco style. So obviously they would be a little more expensive, but for the detail, for the cloth goods, for what you get, I think, well, along with some more accessories added in, well, obviously you can make them a little personal, depending on who the person is. But I think they will be really cool figures to get. And obviously, if you want to be a cheaper price point, drop down to maybe a Marvel Legends style. But I would pay good money to have some of these figures in my possession. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video. Let's look at some of these Gridiron Greats that we're going to maybe one day see. So, I mean, I feel like this kind of goes without saying, but yes, Jerry Rice. You gotta have the greatest of all time, if not one of the greatest of all time, the best receiver of all time. Whatever you want to say, you gotta have a Jerry Rice in there. Again, we're going with a Mezco style, so yes, the price point will be much higher than a Marvel Legend. I full on understand that, but look at the stitching, look at the detail, look at the realism. You'll get accessories. You could have other accessories, obviously, the football with it, and maybe a Niners championship jacket or a hat, something like that. But I feel like if you're going to start a line of football greats, you gotta have Jerry in it. And I mean, it's in the thumbnail, so you gotta have it. Next, Dion. Primetime. One of, if not, again, debate with your mother. I don't care. One of, if not the greatest corner of all time, Deion Sanders. You gotta have him. Starting the line, gotta have a Dion. Gridiron Greats off to a 2-for-2 start, and I'm gonna be nice. You can get your regular Cowboys one, or you can get your Chase variant edition Atlanta Falcons. I thought this came out awesome. Actually, I'm like, being a Giants fan, I probably would still buy that Dion because it looks incredible. Now I gotta throw some Giants greats in here because yes, I'm biased. Maybe this is turning out kind of be like a list video. I don't know, but if I'm starting my line, these are some of the figures that I'm starting with, and I'm gonna throw a quick shout out to my boy Michael Strahan. He may not be on everybody's list, but he is a big inspiration for me personally, and the reason I started playing football. But other than Mike, I have to go with, and you can't debate this, the greatest defensive player of all time, Lawrence Taylor, New York Giants linebacker. And this is another one, speaks for itself. Get him in 56. Sorry, get him in the blue jersey, or again, get him in the white Chase variant version. And I mean, that white one came out sick. I would grab both, but I definitely need that Chase variant. We gotta throw some love to the running backs. And we got 3 of the greatest to ever grace the gridiron. Barry Sanders, which another one looks incredible. I love the detail. I love the stitching. I love how this is why I went to Mezco, because while, yes, you could get print on and, you can get just the numbers kind of pasted on there, the stitching work of the jerseys looks so good in the pants, the belts, the face sculpts look awesome. You gotta throw in a Barry. You gotta throw in a Walter, because you can't have one without the other. And then on top of those 2, we gotta throw in Jim Brown. So we gotta throw that love to the running backs, because, and actually, I have one more. I'll throw him into Mike Allstott. Y'all may not want Mike Allstott, but that man changed the game for the way that we play at running backs play. So I had to throw some love in there for him too. I also have to throw some quarterbacks into the mix. So I went with 2 that, obviously, they're greats. And one being a Dan Marino. And I think that one came out really good. And then I had to go also with Bills legend, Jim Kelly. Not like the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but they were greats. They're NFL legends as well. And I don't want to go away all the bangers in one. You can have some really good ones, but I started to think of I was going to maybe a Warren Moon in there, and then you can start going down the Bart Starrs and Fran Tarkentons and everything. And I even thought about doing some black and white ones or some gray ones that just kind of the really old school ones. I thought those would be cool too, but you gotta save something for wave 2s and 3s and 4s. Come on now. Gridiron Greeks is just getting off the ground. I feel like I have to do this one on its own, because this one will be so toyetic. Just, y'all know the intro, the smoke, the pyro, him coming out the tunnel like a madman. Yeah. Gotta have Ray Lewis. And I try my best to get him into his iconic pose after his whole dance and everything. You gotta have a Ray in there. Again, I'm not trying to talk about all the off-field stuff, but just on the field, one of the greatest linebackers of all time, Ray Lewis. He's gotta be in there somewhere. This all could be wave 1. This all could be, I don't know, could break it up 5 and 5, whatever you want to do, but I feel like you have to have one of the greatest linebackers to ever do it. He's got to show up at some point. We got 2 more, and these are going to be 2 bangers to end. I wanted to show some love to the big boys, the Hogs, the interior, the trenches, the trench mob. I got to show love to them. It's not all about the pretty boys. It's not all about the divas. You got your wide receivers in your corners in there. You got some QBs. You got some running backs. What about the D-line, though? What about the defensive line? I mean, not the ends, Strahan played end, that was cool. That was one of my favorite players of all time, I understand. But Warren Sapp, I mean, you talk about a nasty individual on the interior defensive line. A nasty defensive tackle. I had to get him in the Bucks jersey. I couldn't get the braids to come through, but I think it's a great representation. And then also, one of the greatest of all time, again, one of those iconic Steeler defenses, Mean Joe Green. And he comes with the Coke and everything. And I thought that was a really cool touch. And that's one of the things that I feel like would really put a line like this over the top and was really elevated. Just having 1 or 2 signature things that goes with each individual character. I feel like that would be something that would really make these figures go next level. So that's it, guys. That is the video. I really hope you enjoyed just kind of going down the rabbit hole of things I think about. Again, I want to do a whole line. I want to do a different series, actually, starting with football, obviously, going to baseball, basketball, soccer. I mean, if you guys obviously don't care for certain sports, feel free to skip the video. But as much as I love my superheroes and my Mythic Legions, my kit bashes that I can do, my Marvel Legends, my Joes, my third-party figures, yeah, I want sports figures too. And I don't know why certain companies can't get it right. I don't know if it's the people they're getting. I don't know. Like I said, I have my opinions. I think it was certain people. I think it was, we don't want to start off a line with Joel Embiid and John Morant and everybody. If you're going to do basketball, give us the greats. Give us Jordan. Give us Magic. Give us Kobe. Give us, Wilt. Give us Larry Bird. Start with those. A good price point. And it could have been so much better. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Keep it locked to the channel. Got a lot more coming. Cartoons and Cereals is going to have some really fun times ahead. And until then, stay safe, especially out in the chaos of this weather and everything. And I will catch y'all when I catch y'all, I guess. Peace.